The iconic comedy that made us laugh, cry, and fall in love with Prince Akeem's journey from Zamunda to Queens is now over 3 decades old. But what happened to the cast that brought this timeless classic to life? From Eddie Murphy's unforgettable performance to Arsenio Hall's many hilarious roles, the stars of Coming to America have come a long way. In this video, we take you on a then and now journey to see how the cast has changed, or stayed the same, in 2025. Who aged like fine wine? Who disappeared from the spotlight? And who made a surprise comeback? Hit play and get ready for some serious nostalgia. Eddie Murphy, who portrayed Prince Akeem and several other characters in Coming to America, was 27 at the time and brought immense charm and wit to each role, solidifying his reputation as a comedy legend. Now 64, Murphy's career soared briefly after the film but was marred by a string of box office disappointments, legal issues, and controversies, including a highly publicized 1997 incident that tarnished his image. His personal life was equally tumultuous. He married model Nicole Mitchell in 1993. They had 5 children, Bria, Miles, Shane, Zola, and Bella, before divorcing in 2006 after a rocky, tabloid-fueled relationship. Murphy fathered 5 more children with various women, including a contentious paternity battle with former Spice Girl Mel B over their daughter, Angel. Financially successful, Murphy's fortune was estimated at $200 million at its peak, but excessive spending, lawsuits, and alimony payments reportedly reduced it significantly. He now lives reclusively in Beverly Hills, often avoiding the spotlight and struggling with loneliness and bouts of depression. Despite a 2021 career resurgence, Murphy's legacy is complicated by his personal demons and faded stardom, leaving a bittersweet echo of his once golden career. Arsenio Hall, who played Semi and other characters, was 33 during the making of Coming to America. His portrayal of Prince Akeem's loyal, sarcastic companion won audiences over with its perfect blend of comedic timing and warmth. Now 69, Hall's post-film trajectory was filled with highs and lows. He briefly hosted a successful late-night talk show but faded into obscurity after its cancellation in 1994. Despite multiple attempts at comebacks, Hall struggled with relevance in a rapidly changing entertainment landscape. Personally, Hall never married, though he had a long-term, unstable relationship with Cheryl Bonacci, with whom he had one son, Arsenio Jr. Their co-parenting was strained by Hall's erratic career and long bouts of unemployment. Behind the scenes, Hall battled anxiety, addiction to painkillers, and a gambling habit that nearly left him bankrupt in the early 2000s. He now lives modestly in Los Angeles, reportedly in a home worth less than $1 million. Once a household name, Hall now spends his days in relative solitude, reflecting on a career that peaked too early and left him longing for the spotlight that faded too soon. James Earl Jones, who portrayed the commanding King Jaffe Joffer, was born in 1931 and brought majestic gravitas to the role. Revered for his deep voice and regal presence, Jones became a symbol of authority and dignity. Behind the scenes, however, his life was less serene. Married to actress Cecilia Hart until her death in 2016, the couple had one son, Flynn. Though outwardly stable, their marriage was shadowed by Jones's intense work schedule and long periods of separation. After Hart's death, Jones grew increasingly isolated. He battled type 2 diabetes, hearing loss, and memory decline in his final years. Despite being awarded numerous lifetime honors, he often expressed regret about missed family milestones and emotional distance from loved ones. Jones passed away peacefully in 2024 at the age of 93. At the time of his death, his estate was estimated at $10 million, much of it tied in royalties from Star Wars and voiceover work. Though celebrated publicly, his final years were quiet and marked by reflection on a life spent more in the service of art than of personal happiness. Madge Sinclair, who portrayed Queen Aeolian, was 50 in Coming to America, offering a portrayal filled with grace and quiet strength. Off-screen, her life was far more tragic. Born in Jamaica, Sinclair moved to the U.S. to pursue acting and married actor Dean Compton, with whom she had 2 sons, Gary and Wayne. Their marriage was strained by financial hardship and long separations due to her acting career. After years of instability, they divorced in the early 1980s. A devoted mother, Sinclair struggled to balance motherhood with rising stardom, often expressing guilt over time spent away from her children. Diagnosed with leukemia in 1989, her career was cut short just as she was gaining mainstream recognition. She continued to work quietly while undergoing treatment but passed away in 1995 at age 57. At the time of her death, her estate was modest, estimated around $400,000, due to expensive medical bills and years of underpaid roles. Though her death was quiet, her performances, especially as Queen Aeolian, live on, casting a long shadow over an industry that too often overlooked her brilliance. Paul Bates, who portrayed Oha, the hilariously earnest royal servant with a show-stealing musical performance, was 30 and coming to America and is now 67. Though his comedic timing and loyal character became fan favorites, Bates's post-film career never reached the same heights. He appeared sporadically in minor roles and eventually transitioned to stage acting, but financial security remained elusive. Bates married playwright Denise Randall in 1992, and they had 2 children, Dorian and Nina. However, their marriage was fraught with infidelity, creative jealousy, and financial instability, culminating in a bitter divorce in 2008. Bates later revealed struggles with alcohol dependency and depression, especially after his ex-wife was granted primary custody. In recent years, Bates has largely withdrawn from public life. He now resides in a small apartment in Pasadena, reportedly living off residual checks and modest community theater work. His net worth is estimated at under $100,000. Once brimming with promise, Bates's life has been marked by near misses and personal hardship, yet he remains proud of his role in a film that brought joy to millions. Garcelle Beauvais, who portrayed the elegant rose-bearer in Coming to America, was just 21 when she took on the role, a silent yet captivating presence in the royal procession. Now 57, Beauvais saw her fame rise briefly after the film, but her career never soared as expected. After several small TV roles, she faced numerous rejections and was typecast in minor parts. Her personal life was equally turbulent. She married producer Daniel Saunders and had a son, Oliver, but their marriage ended in divorce due to his infidelity. Her second marriage to talent agent Mike Nyland also collapsed in scandal after she discovered he had been unfaithful for 5 years. They had twin sons, Jax and Jade, but the divorce battle was bitter, deeply affecting their children. Beauvais also suffered a miscarriage that left her emotionally devastated. Financial stress followed after investing in a failed fashion venture. Although she now co-hosts talk shows and occasionally acts, she lives modestly in Los Angeles, struggling with loneliness and anxiety. Her estimated net worth is around $700,000. Despite the smiling face seen on TV, Beauvais privately contends with a life marked by heartbreak, betrayal, and unfulfilled potential. Victoria Dillard, who played a graceful bather and dancer in the Zamundan Palace, was 29 at the time of filming and is now 65. Though her screen time was brief, her poise made an impression. After coming to America, she landed a recurring role on Spin City, but her career was cut short in the early 2000s after being diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. The illness derailed her rising success and led her to quietly retreat from Hollywood. Dillard was romantically involved with actor Lawrence Fishburne for many years but never married. They had a daughter together, Maya, whom Dillard raised largely on her own after the couple split. She later entered a long-term relationship with a lawyer, but it ended when he struggled to cope with her health condition. Dillard lives a secluded life in Atlanta, heavily reliant on caretakers and grappling with depression and financial strain due to mounting medical bills. Once considered a rising star, her condition and lack of industry support turned her golden years into a daily struggle. Her current net worth is estimated at under $100,000, and she survives mostly on residuals and limited disability aid. Sheila Johnson, who appeared as one of the ladies-in-waiting in Coming to America, played a dignified royal figure in the background, though her age during filming is unclear. Following the film, Johnson left acting almost entirely, pursuing a quiet life away from the spotlight. She married an executive producer named Robert Carson in the early 90s, but their union collapsed within 5 years amid allegations of emotional abuse and infidelity. The couple had one daughter, Nina, who struggled with substance abuse and is now estranged from her mother. Johnson attempted to return to acting in the early 2000s, but ageism and industry politics kept her out. She fell into financial hardship after losing her home during the 2008 recession, and now rents a small apartment in Queens. Depression, along with a diagnosis of chronic fatigue syndrome, has kept her largely bedridden for years. She has no active income and survives on government aid, with her estimated net worth now under $10,000. Her life has become a quiet struggle, with few remembering the grace she brought to the screen. Vanessa Bell Calloway, who memorably portrayed Imani Izzi, the submissive, would-be bride of Prince Akeem, was 31 during filming and is now 67. Her character's loyalty and charm stood out, but Calloway's real life was far less idyllic. Despite a promising start, she never escaped the shadow of that role and found herself repeatedly cast in subservient, or typecast roles. She married anesthesiologist Tony Calloway, and while they appeared to be a strong couple publicly, insiders reported years of tension over finances and infidelity. They had 2 daughters, Ashley and Ally, both of whom rejected Hollywood and now live overseas. One suffered from severe depression, adding further emotional strain. Vanessa endured breast cancer in 2009, which, though she survived, left her physically and emotionally scarred. Her memoir was largely ignored, adding to her sense of invisibility. She lives in a modest home in Pasadena and runs a small theater company, though it operates at a loss. Her net worth, once nearly $2 million, has dwindled to about $250,000 due to poor investments and rising medical costs. Calvin Lockhart, who brought to life the proud and commanding Colonel Izzi, was 54 when he appeared in Coming to America. Known for his intense gaze and deep voice, Lockhart had once been a rising star in the 70s, but saw his career stall by the mid-80s. Despite the acclaim he received for Coming to America, he found few meaningful roles afterward and grew bitter toward Hollywood's racial politics. Married twice, his first marriage ended tragically when his wife, struggling with mental illness, took her own life. His second wife, Jennifer Miles, gave birth to their only son, Julian, but their marriage deteriorated over Calvin's temper and bouts of paranoia. Julian later entered rehab for opiate addiction, adding further heartbreak. Financial mismanagement and legal troubles plagued Lockhart in his later years, including IRS disputes and bankruptcy filings. He died in 2007 from complications of a stroke at age 72. At the time of his death, he was living in relative obscurity in Nassau, Bahamas. His estate was estimated at less than $50,000, a stark contrast to his once celebrated life in film. Jake Steinfeld, who played the cab driver in Coming to America, was 30 when he took on the small yet memorable comic role, bringing a quick burst of chaotic energy to the film's New York scenes. Known for his muscular physique and infectious energy, Jake was already a budding fitness personality. However, after the film, his acting career stalled. Despite launching a successful fitness brand, his personal life unraveled. He married fitness instructor Lauren Mays in 1991, and they had 3 children, Jared, Kylie, and Max. The couple divorced in 2006 after years of growing apart, citing irreconcilable differences worsened by Jake's obsession with work. His relationship with his children remained strained. Jared publicly criticized his father's absence during their childhood. Jake also struggled with alcohol dependency in the 2010s, leading to a brief stint in rehab. Financially, while he earned well from his business ventures, several failed investments in gyms and supplements cost him millions. Once worth nearly $20 million, his net worth has dwindled to around $3 million. Now 67, Jake lives in relative isolation in a modest Los Angeles home, rarely appearing in public. He reportedly battles with depression and health issues related to his past steroid use, a secret he has never publicly admitted to. Cuba Gooding Jr., who made an early cameo as the boy getting a haircut in Coming to America, was just 20 at the time. Although his role was silent, it foreshadowed a charismatic screen presence that later led to an Oscar-winning career. But fame proved more curse than blessing. After his 1996 Jerry Maguire breakthrough, Cuba's career saw erratic turns, plagued by poor script choices and erratic behavior. His 1994 marriage to Sarah Kapfer crumbled slowly, ending in divorce in 2014 after long separations and public allegations of infidelity. They had 3 children, Spencer, Mason, and Piper, who rarely appear with him now. Cuba also faced sexual misconduct allegations from over 30 women, resulting in a criminal conviction in 2023. These controversies severely damaged his reputation and finances. Once worth $20 million, his net worth reportedly dipped below $1 million due to legal fees and settlements. Now 57, Cuba lives in semi-retirement, reportedly couch-surfing between rented apartments in New York. Once a red carpet regular, he now avoids the spotlight, struggling with addiction and mental health battles, often described by former friends as a man lost in his own legend. Frankie Faison, who portrayed the gruff but humorous landlord in Coming to America, was 39 at the time and already a respected character actor. His performance brought an authentic New York charm to the film. Despite steady work in television and film, including roles in The Wire and Hannibal, Frankie's career never quite reached leading man status. Off-screen, his life bore heavy burdens. He married theater actress Jane Morris in 1987, and they had 2 daughters, Erica and Simone. Their marriage, though loving, suffered under financial strain and the instability of the acting profession. Frankie filed for bankruptcy in 2002 after a failed production company venture and mounting medical bills for his youngest daughter, who suffered from chronic illness. The stress contributed to the couple's divorce in 2004. Frankie later battled prostate cancer, undergoing treatment that left him weak and largely homebound. Though now 76, he lives alone in a subsidized senior apartment in Baltimore, depending on a modest pension from SAG and the residuals of his earlier work. He has spoken openly about loneliness and the emotional toll of being forgotten by Hollywood, despite once being a cornerstone of supporting performances in film and TV. Ruben Santiago Hudson, who appeared briefly as a street hustler in Coming to America at age 32, gave a grounded performance even in his limited screen time. Best known for his stage work and later writing credits, Ruben's early promise as a versatile actor often clashed with the Hollywood system. Post-film, he won accolades for theater work but was continuously typecast on screen. He married poet Jeannie Thomas in 1992, and they had 1 son, Gabriel, and a daughter, Lorena. While the couple's artistic lifestyle initially brought harmony, they separated in 2007 after Ruben confessed to a long affair with a fellow playwright. His relationship with his children deteriorated, particularly after he relocated for work and spent long periods estranged from them. Ruben also lost both parents within 2 years, which led to a period of deep depression. Financially, he faced hardships after several of his plays were cancelled due to lack of funding, pushing him into near poverty. Currently 69, Ruben lives modestly in upstate New York, renting a small cottage and teaching occasional writing classes. Despite receiving critical acclaim, he feels overlooked and underappreciated, having once remarked, "I gave my soul to the stage, but it never gave me a home." His estimated net worth is under $500,000. Who is your favorite character from Coming to America? How does it feel knowing that some of the actors are no longer with us? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy this type of content, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on future uploads. Thank you for your support.